by the looks of you, that's saying a lot.
Sprig will like poke his head around the corner to get a look at the little guy. Assuming he is he standing right there.
Yes.
Yeah, Sprig will poke his head around. Well, hey, I'll have you know, I'm actually rather intelligent. I have studied alchemy for quite a good number of years.
Yeah, that's nice.
Is there any particular reason? Is there just one of you moving? Is it just you moving around really fast in here, or why is there so many of you in here? But
Well, there was me and my two brothers.
okay,
We're
I suppose that
sentinels.
when you really, it's just so surprising how fast y'all move. That left me the impression of it left a bigger impression, even though three really that isn't actually that of an unusual volume.
We're just sentinels.
Who are you sentinels for, though?
Mm, I don't know that I should tell you that, but maybe it doesn't matter.
Uh, did you work for what was the name on the paper? The brass something?
Yeah.
I actually forgot what this was. It brass vein?
Yeah, you should have a handout. Uh, should be able to see it.
Oh, yes, there it is. Are you a sentinel for this brass veil group?
It starts laughing. The brass veil. Yeah, that's it. Really bright you are.
He'll look at the thing. You know, I'm smart enough to understand sarcasm.
Oh, really? You think
Considering it.
you would
God.
think that if such an organization existed, that they would not only write down instructions, but they would actually use a seal by which they could be identified by. Yeah, how bright do you think those people are?
Well, then I assume you don't work for the Duke brothers, do you? You did seem to insult them.
Yeah, well,
Maybe he works for that demon woman we saw.
Oh, you have a good point. What was her name again?
I doubt you know. I don't know.
Well, would that demon woman that was here earlier happen to be who you work for?
Mm, maybe. Mm,
That's not a no, but it's not a yes.
yeah, that about sums it up. If you value your lives, you probably are going to want to leave Calimport. You know, you really, really want to leave Calimport.
And why would we do that?
Well, let's just say not everything appears as it appears.
Could you maybe give us a hint or an elaboration?
Project 7 was the key, as it were, to the Sovereign Project. Big aspirations the Duke brothers have. big aspirations. Once they figured out how to enhance a golem, they got the key they needed to finish their project.
But
Yeah, go ahead.
number 7 is not the final project, right?
No, but he contains the key. The final project is the Sovereign Dragon.
Can I roll a check to see if that rings any bells in anything I've read?
Sure.
What would you like me to roll?
You can choose Arcana or History.
I basically could roll either. They're both the same. I'll roll Arcana. 16.
Okay. You remember Project 7 in one of the arcane history books that talks about uh, building constructs. And the Sovereign was essentially a rumor in the history that a once powerful magi constructed a unusually large dragon from a combination of a dracolich and a dragon construct. And the dragon construct is actually made up of adamantine plates and is 100% obedient to its creator or creators.
All right. Sprig will look at the little blue thing. The Sovereign is effectively just a myth. Trying to actually make something like that would be near impossible.
Nearly.
I mean, the theory of it's written down, but the idea of actually succeeding in fusing a dracolich and a adamantine dragon construct would be, oh, it would take more effort than any singular artificer or wizards or sorcerer would have on their own. And sure, the Duke brothers are a pair, but well, you did call them rubes earlier.
Yes. That's because they think they're building it for themselves. They're building it for her.
And
Chandelier.
and who exactly is this Chandelier?
She is a succubus of some notability.
I'll look back towards Honora. You're a cleric, right? Would you happen to have any knowledge of fiends and the like?
Nora can
Uh,
roll a history or a religion check.
okay. Uh, uh, And a 10.
Oof.
Okay. And you don't have bless on you, right?
I do not.
Okay. Okay. So these are the two things that you know about her. It's not much.
Wow. Okay. So I tell Sprig, well, she's actually a demon lord.
Well, that does explain why he's and he gestures towards the. I forget what you said they were called.
Quickly.
The Quickling. That did say. It does explain why he said our lives are likely in danger.
I don't think this Smurf knows anything. We shouldn't listen to him.
You're right. See ya.
Well, I guess that was maybe useful information we've got. In the meantime, I'm going to check on those flesh golems in the room that little change Quickling came out of.
Okay.
I'll go up into this room and check the numbers on these two.
You have number 4 and number 5.
Okay, yeah, that tracks. So we have the first 6. We killed number 6, and numbers 1 through 5 are inactive.
And Fango has cleaved the heads off of the other 3 that he has seen, and attempts to cut off the 4th.
Okay, so our party consists of a cleric, a druid, a barbarian,
And an artificer.
an artificer.
And a sorcerer.
Artificer, the pugilist, cleric,
Pugilist.
barbarian.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty close to a monk, isn't it?
It seems like a strength-based monk, basically. I actually want to go pull it up on 5e tools and see what its differences are.
So we don't have a druid, correct?
No, the druid we have a. I'm a druid in the Feywild one, but
Yeah.
see, because I'm an artificer, Skella's a sorcerer, Rance is cleric, freaking AC's a pugilist, and Ben's a
Yep.
barbarian. And then
Okay.
my friend, when they join, may also be coming in with a artificer, likely of a different subclass. Well, most certainly of a different subclass.
Yeah. Yeah, Pugilist is pretty much a strength-based punch monk. They're but they more encapsulize like the tavern brawler aspects of unarmed fighting, so
Yeah.
that's why I chose them.
Oh yeah, you said you're a dwarf, right?
I am a dwarf, yes.
I'm gonna be real. So there's a single character that comes to my mind right now when I think of your character.
Oh.
One moment. This guy, his name is Punch Up. He's from the game Dismember.
Yes.
Yes, I know Punch Up very well.
Yeah,
Voiced by Jacksepticeye.
Yeah, literally, your character's just making me think of Punch Up.
You know, with how tough he kind of is, isn't he?
Plus, you're short as shit and would have an easier time punching people in the balls. Unironically, when I played a Witcher campaign, I had played a dwarven blacksmith who had an interesting thing for just punching people in the dick because he was short and had an easier time reaching.
You know, it's funny. I made Dirkram because I wanted to originally do my Warforged pugilist that I made a while ago, but I didn't feel like he would fit the setting very well, so I decided to make them a dwarf instead. And then I noticed that I could get Dwarven toughness and the toughy and just become extremely difficult to kill.
Yeah.
And
So I was
anyway,
like, you know what? I'm gonna make a tough little dwarf brawler. Man, I didn't even think about Punch Up. Oh my god, he is Punch Up. Dang me.
so are you going to get his special move?
Am I gonna punch people in the dick? Probably.
Yes, that's your stunning strike. Wait, no, you're not a monk, right?
Well, I was
Jeez.
gonna
Yeah,
say,
no,
if
I
you-
don't get a stunning strike. I do get once I hit level 3 though, I do get actually I get like a stunning strike? Hold on. When do they normally get it? It's
At
like
level
7.
it'd be level 5 normally, right?
Yeah.
I get Haymaker, which allows me to when I make an unarmed strike or hit with a pugilist weapon, which is any improvised weapon, I can expend a moxie point to swing with wild abandon and on hit regain the expended moxie point and deal maximum damage with the attack. That would definitely be me basically just dick punching somebody.
That is an actually insane move, though. Like, resource regain and max damage. If
Oh
you
yeah,
hit.
that's the thing I like about the pugilist is it's like a monk, but they have a lot of resource reclamation within them. I have an ability right now, called Bloodied but Unbowed. When I take damage, I can use the reaction to regain all my moxie points, and if I'm bloodied when I take the reaction, I also gain temporary hit points equal to 4 times my pugilist level.
Oh yeah. Ooh, that's the fact that you've
Yeah.
got a second level resource regen is really fucking cool.
Yeah, so if I'm lucky enough to get hit and be really, really hurt, not only do I get all of that, but I also get back like a little bit of health technically.
Yeah, you get some temp HP to keep you alive.
Yeah, just kind of bolster myself. But if I'm really in a spot and it's like, I've really got to use some moxie points, I just got to wait for somebody to hit me and then just be like, all right, cool, I get all my moxie points back. Yeah.
Honestly, the pugilist and monster hunter, I feel like are very interesting takes on alternate versions of class.
Yeah.
Because the monster hunter, I don't know if you guys have read it. It's basically a like their own sort of take on the blood hunter. Like it's got
Yeah.
similarities, but I noticed that 2 of the subclasses are very similar to blood hunter.
Yeah, the blood hunters. We've actually had a blood hunter in the Friday game.
Oh, nice. I've played one twice. I don't think the second time I played one, the campaign took off. The first time I played one, we were in a campaign that focused on fighting drow in the Underdark. That was one of the coolest crits because I switched from a regular sword to a moonlit sword, which just gives light. But I did like a little chant, and when I rolled the attack, I got a crit, which was cool because it also activated my hemocraft on it.
Oh.
It was a very fun moment.
Yeah. I'm looking at more of these pugilist abilities, and yeah, so much of it is resource reclamation. My other level 2 thing, Swagger Streak, allows me to when I fail a strength, dex, or con or charisma check. So 4 different checks. If I fail one, I can spend a moxie point to try to succeed on it, and if it still fails, I just get that point back. So it's like a free, let's see if I can make it a success.
Yeah, like it's a free try to make a success. If
Yeah.
it fails, you don't waste the moxie. You just can't use it again.
Yeah,
Until towards the wall.
I have to wait for a short or long rest, which is fine.
Yeah, reading through this on 5e Tools is actually really cool. I do like this. This feels like a fun take on
Yeah.
what might
Oh,
could have been.
oh, I lost my page of one of the homebrew classes I've found on the internet, and can't find the bookmark I made of it. Of the the culinarian, where the biggest thing is you're always carrying a backpack pod of soup that you launch that you can launch to your allies or enemies with your ladle.
You know, it's funny. At one point, I tried to make Gordon Ramsay in in D&D, and I couldn't think of what class he would be, and that would definitely be it.
Unironically, in the past, I thought up of a character using the vanilla stuff for a chef type character who is an Echo Knight fighter, with his Echo being basically his sous chef.
That is genius.
Yeah,
I like
that was one of my favorite character ideas that I came up with, but I've never played.
Yep.
I just never had a campaign where it seemed like he would fit. But also,
I
in regards to you mentioning you were thinking about being a Warforged initially, it's
Yeah.
funny that like at the start, before Ben has joined us, everyone else was a relatively normal race, and then here is Sprig being like so standout weird.
I know, but you know what? That kind of fits. Like the rest of us just kind of blend in, and you're like the stand. Imagine if we had two standouts. We would just there'd be no hiding for our
We
group.
kind of do now. Ben's a big ass elf looking motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but big ass elf looking
Now,
motherfuckers can still blend in.
Now, if you told me, if you managed to convince me to be if you'd chosen the wizard, I would have been another ooze in the party.
Let me guess, plasmoid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Plasmoid wizard would be genius.
So, what are we doing?
Oh yes. So
I don't
we
know
got
where to go.
distracted. After while he's like hacking off the heads of these two,
Uh-huh.
I assume this is another door over here. Can I see that clearly?
Hang on.
That one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a door.
Alright, Sprig's basically just trying to map out this place and see every room, so he is going to go up to that door to open it. If it's
door
locked, I will.
Is locked.
I will try to lockpick it again.
Okay.
So, thieves' tools, wisdom. $22.
Okay.
As he goes down the hallway, is this door also locked, or
It is.
he will try to lockpick this one as well?
Okay.
POV, your artificer has no sense of self-preservation. Fuck.
Anybody here have a crowbar?
Yes. And could I now? I don't know who's. I'm actually not that strong. I have an 18 in Constitution and a 14 in Strength.
Oh, don't worry, I've got strength covered.
Yeah, I was gonna say Derek has a 20 in strength, as evident.
Yeah.
He's +7 to.
I don't know if you could tell by the fact that I one-shotted all those goblins.
Yeah. I was just.
Tiny little guy just coming in, shoving his fist through goblin skulls.
I assume that the 6 does not unlock it.
No.
Mhm.
Does anything bad happen, or?
No.
All right. Can I just try again?
Sure.
All right. Cool.
I'll
Something
say
bad happens, Sprig's just gonna keep trying.
if it fails, just hand Durgrim a crowbar and let him go to
A
town
20.
on the door.
I'm sorry.
Oh, hey, there you go.
A 20.
Yeah, there you go.
It took
and
you a second.
Sprig obviously steps back into the initial door. Oh,
We could have just gone around and unlocked it from the other side.
this was a little redundant. Is the Quickling there, or did you just not move him fully?
I didn't move him from fully.
Okay. I
Fair
just wanted
enough.
to ask real quick.
Yep.
He'll look to the others. I believe there's only one pathway left in this building. And he'll gesture to where the Quicklings had run earlier. Because
Hey.
obviously he did technically see where that first one ran to. Since it was, like at the doorway.
All right, quick show of hands. Who's got open-toed shoes?
Shit, did I give Sprig shoes?
I mean, it's like, are you wearing clothes? Is usually if you're wearing, I'm wearing traveler's clothes, which I would think has some thick, some good hiking boots.
Yeah, it's fine. All right.
Everybody roll a perception check for me.
Keep forgetting to use my other voice.
God, I'm
There's
rolling
a
like
nine.
garbage when it's not combat.
So why is your box for your rolls different?
Oh, I'm not using the new sheet.
He's using the old
using
sheet.
the old sheet. Okay.
Yep.
It's where I've used it for years, so why would it?
No, that's fair.
And
Okay, no, that's not.
even if it stops me from doing the 24 stuff, I'm just going to write it out.
Well, technically, you can still do the 2024.
Yeah, you
stuff.
can still do
just
the
have
24
to
stuff.
manually enter shit.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Is like I can't just go into the what is this called, the drag and drop section.
The compendium.
You
Compendium.
can just to drag and drop 2014 stuff.
Yes,
so if
I
it's
can.
basically
Yes,
no
yes.
difference between the two, you can still use it.
Yeah, of course.
But I write stuff by hand anyway, so yeah.
Okay, yeah, Sprig does have shoes. For reference, I have. Because I never sent the actual photos I made in Hero Forge. Here's Sprig's usual look. So this is an example of what he looks like right now.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, you were wearing open-toed shoes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then more casual Sprig. Basically same outfit. It just doesn't have the tunic on the front.
Yeah, I'm going is that your resistant vest? Or is that just where you keep your tinkering tools?
Yep. Grim's gonna look down at your open feet and just go.
So, are you planning on becoming the alchemist artificer, or with all the potion bottles?
Oh yeah, he's gonna be an alchemist, 100%.
Oh, we lost Rance. Yeah, I mentioned from the start that I'm going alchemist. Because basically, since you weren't here, Ben, in the last session we had, technically, Sprig got interrogated by the town guard and a priest. And he handed them the journal because Sprig, his skeleton comes from a alchemist known as, and hold on, because I actually wrote his name down in my character notes, so I can actually read it. Xander Nyman, an alchemist who met his unlikely demise while performing an experiment involving slimes and their properties. His skeleton went through the process of synthesis with a slime to create the gelatin known as Sprig O' Mint.
Right, your gelatin. That's right.
Yep. So basically, for reference, the book and the casual one, that is meant to be Xander's journal, which is...
For some reason, I've been forgetting it for so long, and then eventually I came to the name Squig, and I'm like, nope, that's wrong, but it's what's sticking in my head.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
It makes sense for a barbarian to get our name wrong or two.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, it mentions in the description for gelatins, they often pick names based off things that are around them when they're new.
Sprigament.
When he first awoke to consciousness, he was surrounded by a field of mint. Mint
Okay.
sprigs. So a
Right.
sprig o' mint.
So seeing your open shoes, he just goes, I hope you like having to wash your feet of human filth, because we're going into the sewers.
I'll be fine. Touching human filth is. This won't be the first time I've touched human filth.
Oh, and my name in Fango is Latin for light.
You said one.
So,
Wait, one of the rooms to the
Tangle.
north, like one of the rooms up here.
Yes. You guys didn't search those rooms.
Uh-huh.
Were there
Wait,
were there more rooms up north? I didn't notice rooms up
No,
here. Hold on.
the three rooms that had the dead golems. You guys did not search those rooms.
Oh yeah, I didn't properly search the rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, Dirk was looking at this here earlier. He said it was just kind of being nosy and looking
All
at
right,
the table.
well,
But,
Yeah.
each of
I
us take
did
a
say
room
that,
and
yeah.
search it.
I guess if we heard a noise, the party's gonna look for the noise.
So in room 3 is where you eventually find it.
All right.
Laying on a table, there's a leg laying on the floor slightly underneath one of the tables. And you look at the top of the table, and there's an open bag that seems to have an arm dangling out of it. But the bag looks smaller than it should be.
Should be for what?
The body parts.
Okay.
Sprig will look to the others. Assuming you guys have an aversion to touching corpses, I don't mind.
Yeah. I was a guard in Baldur's Gate once. Had to clean up a body or two. If nobody else
How do you-
wants to open it, I'll do it.
How do you live without meat?
Good point.
Anyway, I just tear open the bag or open a bag.
There's like 5 corpses inside the bag.
Oh. Like 5 complete corpses or parts of 5 different corpses?
Parts of 5 different corpses.
Okay. But there's enough parts for us to realize there are 5 corpses of parts here.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I start counting.
Roughly 500 pounds of corpse.
Oh, what the?
Damn.
Parts from him, or is it a total biomass of 500 pounds?
It's a biomass of 500 pounds.
Oh, what the hell?
Hold on a minute. Was this bag here when we first walked through? Because we technically would have walked by this table going into the passageway.
It was there.
Okay, we're just blunt.
Basically, when you walked by it, you disturbed it. Nothing was originally sticking out of it. But since the bag was not sealed, stuff is just starting to slide out because the body parts are outgassing.
Fair enough. Sprig he'll like look in the bag some. He wants to see if there's like what all kind of body parts in here. Is it like anything that could be used to identify a person? Any heads?
There's most of a head, but none of them seem to contain brains.
Huh. These heads are all missing their brains. Oh, wait. Didn't those Duke brothers say they were going to try cutting out our brains when they first kidnapped us?
Yes.
Hey. Good luck getting a good one from me.
I wonder if they're sweetbread enthusiasts.
But
no, they were.
The most impressive thing Is this bag only looks to be like a gallon jug size?
It's a jug of holding.
It's a bag of holding.
Dirkram will pick up the bag and hold the opening to the ground, just shake it.
Large pile of meat just starts piling up.
You said there were 5 heads?
5 bodies, yeah.
5 bodies worth of body parts.
Sprig will look at the others. I believe these heads happen to be the unfortunate donors of the brains for the flesh golems 1 through 5.
Probably.
I pull one of the flesh golem's heads out of my bag. Go and start thinking about going. Should we compare brain?
I don't think that would be viable at this stage. Also, why did you put a golem's head in your bag?
I thought it may be useful later for explaining things, or later
To be
researches.
fair, we do need evidence to show the guards that we took care of the problem down here.
That's fair. I actually kind of assumed we might just, after we come back, bring the guard down here. And admittedly, I'm rather tempted to convince them to try and let us take over this place.
Right.
Of course, it would need major cleaning.
I mean, I basically lived in a fighting pit for about 50 years, but even I wouldn't want to sleep down here after. And I just start slopping all the body parts there by my feet around. Yeah.
Yes. Well, luckily, a few hours of elbow grease and a bit of acid for the more visceral stains. And I think this place would be a rather nice laboratory for myself and maybe a nice staging base for us if we do stay in the city, despite the
Right.
warning of that.
Oh.
I'm
Right.
not saying there isn't beautiful stonework underneath all this viscera and gore, but shouldn't it be a little more homey?
Oh, right. One more thing. Just to confirm. No, wait. Why am I swinging into your accent?
It's infectious, isn't it?
We're in the Faerun. I was in the Feywild when my magic went bad. Usually have a better lock on it, but it's starting to weaken.
If you're wondering what city you're in, we're in.
I don't know any cities of Faerun.
Well then,
Well,
welcome to. I'm forgetting the name of this city out of character.
Calimport.
Fair.
Cornport.
Calimport? Calimport. That's it.
Calimport.
Yeah.
Welcome to Calimport, I suppose.
Do you believe I would be helpful in your endeavors?
Well, you did seem rather useful against that goblin boss. You took quite a beating from him.
You know, if push came to shove, you could throw me at people. That could come in handy.
I think you would have from what I've seen, you would have a better chance at throwing me.
But then who would kill them?
I mean, he could.
True, that is true. I could just swing this guy. Either
I
way.
wonder, at a certain point, I'm wondering if I could be an improvised weapon.
I'm unsure. Anyways.
While everybody's having a conversation, I'm gonna sit down and take a short rest. If y'all are okay with that.
Oh, do you? You were missing health points, or was it for other resources?
Other resources.
Alrighty.
Short rest is 2 hours, right?
1 hour.
1 hour.
1 hour.
Did they change? I thought it used to be 2 hours. Was it changed?
When was it? When was it 2
No,
hours?
It's always been 1 hour.
It's always been an hour, but some DMs tend to break the rules.
Yeah.
Try to make it bigger.
Okay, admittedly, not many DMs I know even use short rests
What?
because, well, because most of the
Oh,
people I
they
play
do
with,
one and done sessions, and then you
well,
get yeah.
one and done sessions, or the people I play with never bother to take fucking rests,
Yeah.
because we A are either stingent with our resources, or B we just don't care about it because most of the classes are long rest resource gainers, not short rest ones.
Yeah.
Luckily,
The
I
only
gain
thing
on
I have
hit.
to, yeah, the only thing I'm always just like, really, is that warlocks don't get the spell catnap.
I believe
I mean, they
monks
do if you get the
also
Book of Shadows.
Yeah, you're right.
I believe
Yeah,
monks
yeah.
also restore their key point. Well,
Yes, they
focus on.
do, and also barbarians. I think, do barbarians get
Rage. Yeah,
rages?
I believe so. Hold on.
Are you 2014 or 2024 barbarian?
2024, really.
One moment, I'm going to it.
Yeah, I'm looking. Shouldn't take that long. Just
Regain 1 expended use when you finish a short rest, or all on a long rest.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Kind of get the
So
shaft on that one.
at the end of the short rest, I can give heroic inspiration or inspiration to 2 people. So I'll give it to Darkrum and Bingo.
I think I
Oh,
already have
alright.
inspiration. I haven't used it yet.
Alright, I have received inspiration, and that's inspiration, not like giving me 10 hit points or something. I don't know.
Maybe I tested the inspiration.
I'm
I
just
think I
like,
used it.
inspiration I thought was a bigger thing.
You can
Short
re-roll a d20 that you want to re-roll once.
Yeah, you're right, Or give yourself a. I thought it's also, before you roll, you can be like, I give myself advantage on this.
So after the short rest,
Uh, while we're taking the short rest, I'd like Sprig to try his best to reassemble the larger pieces of the corpses that were in the bag to make these
Yeah.
people somewhat identifiable.
Alright, I'll help in that.
okay.
Go ahead.
Well, once the short
So,
rest is complete,
okay, everyone's short resting. Alrighty.
you
That's what
got
I did.
you start hearing like a clicking, slurping sound coming from the ladder that goes down into the sewer.
All right, who's slippered up their noodles? Wait a second. Our rations don't have noodles.
I assume we. You said it's coming from the ladder.
Yes, the ladder that goes down into the sewers.
Yeah, Sprig will make his way over there because
The ladder down to the
that's
sewers?
that's where we were all like
Which,
heading
what
towards initially.
what
Yes.
number room is that in? Oh, it's in 5?
Fifth,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's in 5. It's down.
Oh, okay.
That's where we were about to go.
Oh,
Before we
and
hit
I am
the.
seeing something there.
I am seeing part
Yeah.
of something there. Oh no! What is that? Huh?
I don't know.
Huh?
There was
Let's see.
I think we need a Nora here. Oh, also, yeah, we took a press. So
did
left.
did y'all
Let's go.
hear that squishy sound from the north?
Wait, that was the
Alright,
automated
if I
graduation.
By the
can,
ladders. So
I
this
will
is
be
technically.
moving to it, to the ladder first as the tanky boy. Is he at the
Alright,
bottom or
Jake.
right where I am or is he right at the top?
He's at the bottom. He can't come up
Alright,
the ladder.
alright. I'd like to drop a vial of acid on him.
Hold on. Spriggle, like yell out. Hold on a second. And he'll come up next to you, and he'll try to get a look at it. Does this thing seem hostile to us, or is it just happened to be there?
It's well, it looks like a big bug.
roll? Would it be like Arcana since it's it's to recognize its stuff for like inciting?
I'm gonna say what would a history check, uh, or a nature check.
Hmm.
So, unironically, once again, I don't technically have to decide. They're both +8s, but nature feels more fitting.
Hmm.
25.
So this you've heard of this? It's called a carrion crawler.
All right. Don't know how
Um,
to spell that, but
where you uh, what you know about it, and here's for your notes.
oh, carrion, like
Yeah.
corpse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Um,
likes to eat dead bodies.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe we should feed it. We
no.
Oh
have
yeah,
plenty
that's
of
true.
dead bodies.
We have plenty of dead bodies. Problem is, you feed it, it just keeps coming back.
Right, right. And then we can't use this as a base.
Yeah.
Well, that depends.
Again, not 100% what we're probably gonna do, but maybe.
It also depends. Uh, if you potentially keep feeding it, you know, it could be like the wolf that gets fed regularly.
I mean, it would stop people from sneaking in here via the sewers.
Fair point. Uh, but so now I know what this is.
Uh-huh.
Does it seem to us at all, or does it seem? I assume because of its name and stuff, and what I assume Sprig knows about it, it's probably come over here because it smells all the fucking corpses.
Yes.
Hmm.
Um, he'll
It does not seem particularly interested in you guys. It
yeah.
Mm.
cannot, like I said, it cannot come up the ladder. It's not like trying to bite or jump up and bite you guys at the top of the ladder. It's
Actually,
just,
let's get a better look at it. So yeah, as a favor to it, I'm going to cast light on the flesh golem's head and then drop it down for it.
oh, yeah, it goes right up to the skull and starts munching down on the bits of flesh.
Oh my god, the wizards were feeding the extra body parts to this thing.
Oh
That
yeah,
would make a lot of sense. Normally,
but I
carrion
mean,
crawlers aren't
yeah, I mean like
aggressive either.
extra or more like botched probably on the
Yeah.
on the dissects and such.
Hey, well, if we feed it the bodies, there goes our evidence. If
Well,
I mean the
not
goblins.
yeah.
It was just what the convenient flesh I had on me.
Also,
well,
technically, we only need one flesh golem skull, and he'll point to golem number 6 that is technically in the room with us, because that golem is the one we came down here for initially.
hey, fair point. Also, they did say that a creature was eating the guards that came down here, and we might be staring at the creature that was actually eating them.
Uh, from what I rolled, would I know if carrion crawlers normally attack living creatures?
You know that they do not normally attack
Yeah.
unless they're
He'll turn
cornered.
to look at Dirkram. A carrion crawler shouldn't be attacking living people unless it's cornered and fear. It's like a trapped rat. It won't. A rat but left to roam free won't attack a person just out of nothing. But if it's trapped and feared for its life, it would. So
Right, a screaming guard with a sword wouldn't cause it to fear for its life. Plus, it never said that it's the thing that was killing them, just the thing that
no,
was eating them.
admittedly, it could be what's eating them, but we did happen to run into that particular Naga earlier, and well,
Right,
we
true.
saw what it did to
Yeah, your fighter.
yeah, out of character. Yeah, we saw what that shit did to our fighter. So it could have been that, but a carrion crawler is usually a boon. If a corpse happens to fall in the sewerway here, it wouldn't rot. It wouldn't have much time to rot and pollute the water supply with this guy running around.
Aye,
Right, and he's already in the sewers, probably actually making it cleaner once it hits the water.
true. I mean, we could feed it, I guess, all but one corpse. Leave the big guy and one of the heads, and we should be fine.
Do you
Well,
think we need any of the goblin?
perhaps for now we should just feed it those goblins.
Aye,
He'll turn to Fuego. I started calling you Fuego for a second. That's wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Fagon,
Thin.
Fengon. Um, so I suppose we should explain what our group came down here for. We, as you
Oh.
might have guessed by what we were
Yeah,
talking about
so
earlier,
far the context clues is you were sent here because there was flesh golems, or then I got confused because then it sounded like you got kidnapped down here in a similar manner to me.
not down here, up above. There was formerly a warehouse above here where the Duke Golems were also operating in. They had kidnapped the four of us, and he'll gesture to, himself, Amara, Dirk, and Vex, um, as well as a fighter who unfortunately is no longer with us, and a little gnome fella. I can only assume the flesh golem we had seen at the time that they wanted to take one of our brains for would have been number 8, based off the ones down here and the number 7 mentioned in uh, the note I have from those goblins. But
I
we
never
destroyed
understood.
that one.
Why can't it just be a pile of dog brain if they want something loyal and doing jobs?
Likely the level of intelligence. That Quickling did say that number 7 was their key to the Sovereign, which, if the Sovereign is real, does make me worried. Such a being would be dangerously powerful. But regardless, we had technically had a run in with the Duke brothers and reported as such to the local guard. This morning, after a brief interrogation with them and a priest about whether I was an undead or not, which I can assure you I am not, uh, the priest was unfortunately killed by a crossbow, and we came up back here with the guard to investigate this place. The guard wouldn't come down with us. They didn't want to risk the lives of any of their own, so in exchange for helping clear our names, because, a priest getting shot when he's trying to interrogate one of you about being undead looks totally not suspicious. Thanks to whoever killed him, the priest didn't even seem like a bad man, just doing his job. Regardless, we came down here to help clear our names, and, well, there was evidence of something coming down here. We assume that was that flesh golem here in this room. It was a bit of an abnormality, that one.
Long story short, the guards are a bunch of pussies, so they sent us down here to risk our lives.
I
Less sent and we volunteered, technically.
I didn't say we disagreed. I'm just saying they're a bunch of wusses.
Oh, absolutely.
Since those guards are all ballless, we came down here, took out the enemies, saved your arse, and now we've got a giant bug in our way.
Uh, I suppose we could feed it. Would Dirk? Would you go grab me one of the golems? Or not one of the one of the goblins?
Durgrim goes, grabs a goblin, goes, "Hey, out of the way."
Okay. Yeah. It
And just throws him in.
basically, yeah, it just immediately starts trying to eat the
Yeah.
goblin. It does hesitate after the first couple of bites, like it's going, ew. But then it's like a shrug and it just finishes it off.
I guess goblin isn't the best tasting. Regardless, like I said, a carrion crawler shouldn't attack a living person. And with that, Sprig will climb down the ladder.
Okay.
And once he's down it, he wants to try and navigate around the crawler to get a look at the area.
Okay. We're going to stop it there for tonight.
Yeah, I should mention I am very much going to be playing Sprig as like
The button pusher?
button push, like he's gonna scientific understand, like he wants to know things. That's his whole character.
Over explanation.
Yeah.